Hey everybody, how's it going today? It's Frankie here, and I'm back with another movie review. Before I get onto that review, I just want to talk about one of my previous review videos, and that was Olivia Atwood's Bad Boyfriends. And for those of you that haven't seen that video, if you're halfway through it and is going to watch this video, then just to let you know, I did mention the people that I missed out, and I did actually put up who's with who in that sort of video. And that was towards the end of it, so just something to let you know. And the couple, me and Joe, I think, wasn't it, and they were the ones that left at the start of it. So yeah, I just wanted to make that clear, about in case there's any confusion, and it's because you put that in the comments. You can still do that if you want to. You might give me an update on one of the couples, I don't know. But anyways, onto the video. And oh boy, this has to be possibly, I know I say this, the recent movies I've seen have been atrocious and embarrassing. Sorry, I just burped there. Excuse me. Has been atrocious and embarrassing. I don't know if this site is trolling me. I don't know if this is meant to be some big joke. That's yet a third movie, I think, in a row I've seen that site, and it's been absolutely horrible. One of the worst I've seen. I've seen worse, but this is up there. This is 100% up there. It's called Agent Kelly, and when I looked at the title, I thought, okay, decent sounding movie, sound like my sort of movie. It's an hour and 15 minutes. Doesn't seem it's going to be bad though. And oh boy, was I wrong. There wasn't many fight scenes. The acting was horrible. Let me get through this, because there's not really much that goes on in the movie. And if I miss anything out, look, I would probably advise all of you to not watch it. But if you want, you can watch it and tell me what you think anyway. I mean, it probably would make sense to do that. But yeah, I don't think any of you are going to like this movie, especially from the start. As soon as I knew the movie was going to be bad, when at the start, even with how the characters running away from two people, the way that was set was so poor. I knew the movie was going to be horrible. And I think that's Agent Kelly's friend Sam or something like that got killed by these agents, or whoever, these two dudes or something like that. I think so anyway, I'm not quite sure. And then it cuts to the next scene of, like, the bedroom, a hotel bedroom or wherever it is. The camera stayed on that shot for like a minute or two, or however long it was, instead of cutting straight to what whoever was in there. And there's something called Agent Kelly, and I think a guy called Ed is talking to her on the phone. Their voice, the acting, the way they talk to each other. It's like, how you all now, Kelly? Okay, he's like, I'm fine. I'm just trying to get away from these dudes. I'm just I want to avenge Sam's death. And the guy said, I understand you want that, but you gotta understand, these dudes are dangerous. There's about four of them, and you killed out one of them. I think he mentions that in another scene, but then he said, oh, I'm going to be moving to Spain or France. What sort of talking is that? You're meant to be acting, you're meant to be an agent. At least say, well, I'm going to be moving to Spain or France so I can get away from them. That'd be way more easier. I'm not a professional actor. I've been told I'm not a bad actor, but even I could do better at being the phone than that. I mean, oh my lord. And then he said, you haven't got any friends there. And she said, yeah, well, I can make friends. She started speaking in French and Spanish. I know why she picked those two countries out in particular. There's nothing wrong with them. I know why she's picked those two out in particular. Got there, and then he said, oh, I can hear you at the airport. What plane? Which airport are you at? You know they're gonna find you. I was like, no, I'll take my chances. Okay. I don't know what on earth that was about. And then another scene where she starts walking in at this field, and then this guy's chasing after her. I kid you not. The first fight scene was just nearly half an hour into the movie. 20 minutes, people say. But run it to half an hour. The fight scene wasn't even that good. It was just like a bit of a punch and kick here and there. I think she snapped his neck on, like, in between like two tree branches or something like that. It was just tiny tree anyway. I mean, similar to me or wherever it was. I don't get it. And then she went to a hotel room, and she said, "Oh, I killed one of them." She's talking to Ed. Ed was saying, Okay, but there's more guys out there. You killed one. There's actually four, but you killed one of them. There's two of them. They called the brothers, some and another dude. And it's she went and like just she went to this boat because even her narration, I nearly forgot to mention. I was about to forget to mention that her narration says, "My name is Kelly. It's I'm an agent. This is not all fun and games that people think it would. It's not some Hollywood movie. You always look over my shoulder." What? I have never heard narration that. If I actually, I never had narration like that, but I actually have. You know what it reminds me of? Whoever watched that movie Glitch, I don't think many people have, because I don't think many people heard of it, but some people might out there might have watched it, and it kind of reminds me of that. Was it a Glitch with that dude that was escaped from like ages or something like that, and he had to protect his family or whatever it is, and he had a different identity or something like that, and his narration was horrible. Her narration sounds like robotic AI, like yeah, as people saying some Hollywood movie. So it is a movie. I don't know if it's part of Hollywood. I don't think it is. Be surprised even if it is. And then she's and then she's on a boat, and then she starts. I don't know what she's saying, and then like, she says something funny after she snapped the dude's neck when she was narrating. She's like, "Yeah, smile, you smug prick." Like, what the hell was she? I didn't want to say that word properly because of YouTube. I don't know if they picked that word up, but yeah. I was beginning to think, right, is this part comedy? It sounds ridiculous. I looked on the site, IMDb or something, IMBD, I think it's IMBD or something like that. It's not come under comedy. This is under action, believe it or not, because the whole format is action with what it's about. And it's based on revenge, obviously, trying to avenge his friend Sam's death. I don't know what. Actually, she's on this boat. She starts walking around there all calmly. If somebody watched this movie and they put in halfway through, they wouldn't know what on earth is going on. They think this is a joke. It's like I'm watching a college project. Someone made that college, that group of people made that college, put anything together just to impress their teacher, and this is what they came up with. I'm not joking. I'm not rinsing it. It's on the site. Yeah, fair enough. But made the movie better. I mean, she's on the boat there. She's like, oh god, oh, are you kidding me? Oh, she picks up this like alcohol, but I don't know what it is. I think so. I'm not, I don't know. I know when I think of the alcohol, port. I don't know what it is. I think it's vodka or something. I said, oh, it's, either, this is bad news or God sending a gift or something. Whatever she said to that, she didn't want to be there, I don't think. I don't think she wanted to act in it. I really don't. And then she finds, something in like, in this boat, basically as some sort of bombs, and she calls up this guy. I don't know. I think this guy's name is called Benioff. I said, "Oh, are you working with Ed?" I got to admit, the people on the phone are actually better at doing it than they are with anybody else, with how the other people are talking. I said, "Yeah, good intuition." What is this movie? And then it sounds like it feels like a comedy. This guy says, "Oh, these explosives there. Would that be enough?" I said, "Yeah, that would be. Aren't you so smart?" And he kept calling her sweet cheeks. I don't know why in these movies, it's always the same kind of dudes that talk like this that always use the word sweet cheeks. Most of these characters are cocky. They might be the good guys, but instead, I don't know. I mean, I think they are. They might be the good guys, yet they talk like they're villains. It's weird. I get that to have a strong personality to them, but still. Um, and she was like, I don't know what else she said. Excuse me. I don't know what else she said after that, and then she started make up the explosives, and then because she wanted one of the guys to be trapped in them, so at night she leaves the boat. Obviously, one of the dudes had found her anyway because somebody snitched or something like that, and it's at night time. She walks off. A guy comes through who's part of the whatever it is, the group or whatever, and then the yacht. This I would want to say boat. I would say yacht. I'm going to say boat. This explodes. Wow. And then he said, "Oh, no one down that Boex." But I think she's on the phone to Ed again. He was like, I'm a genius, aren't I, Ed? I think it is Ed because there's not really many characters in this." And he said, "Oh, but I wouldn't say genius. I would say it's stupid the way you're going about it. People are coming after you and everything. This is the beginning of the end." And she goes, "I know, yeah. but I'm still coping, right? Something like that. It's just, I have some, these are some of the acting. Then you have another scene where she's being followed by by another one of those dudes, gets followed, and she loses him. And then she figures out which hotel he's at because he's trying to look around for her. And then a scene comes in where she is in the door, basically. Well, not through the door, but in her room, you know. And she's on the phone to this guy. And she says, "Oh, very nice picking a nice hotel room like that." And he says, "What are you talking about? Nice hotel room. And how's her hand doing? Because she put something in his drink, like a neuro, neurotoxin. No, something to do with the nerves or something like that. A nerve sedative or something. I don't know what you call it, right?" And he says, you're becoming a hunted. How would you feel being outrun by a girl? At least that's probably the best piece of dialogue in the movie. The only good piece of dialogue you can hear. At least she acted better in this one. It was like, what are you talking about? I'm going to do what I did to your friend Sam. All sorts of things. And then what was it? She, I can't, these movies, man, I'm telling you. And then she starts saying, yeah, well, I'm going to make sure you feel how my friend Sam feels. I mean, she was a bit more upbeat this time in this phone call. I'm just making it sound a bit down. And he started saying, he started going a bit more crazy after, and he started getting worried and scared. He was like, "Shame you picked a hotel room like that, whereas that's a bit small. I'll be careful if I was you be in that room." And it shows a scene of her sneaking into his room, putting something in his drink. Really clever, I must say. Great timing from her, I guess. Probably the best thing she did right there. And then yeah, and he went for a slowly painful death. And then I don't know. I think she was on the phone call again to do it again. And yeah, I don't know what was said in that part. Basically, I even when that dude before even like that dude that she poisoned, that she killed in that hotel room. Especially when he was on the phone to this guy, and he was like, "I couldn't find her. Turn up your phone. I can hear you, stupid moron. But if you don't find and care, then I'll kill you instead." It's just even that acting could have been a bit better. They sounded a bit too over the top. Like they try to overdo it. And then you would think, oh, where's the fourth person at? The fourth dude. She only killed like what, three? There was no fourth dude unless she already killed one of them way earlier, which I think anyway. I don't even think there was four. She didn't kill four, did she? No, I think she only killed like three. You got the guy that she snapped his neck there. I think she snapped his neck. Gone with where the yacht was, but then that dude in the hotel room. I think there's only three that she killed. I don't know where the last one was at. I was beginning to think, what's going on with this movie? Because we're approaching the end. Is this movie not fully finished? Then you come towards the end of it, and then you hear this girl call her name out. Is this like her friend? Is what was Salmon? Is she come up from the dead or something? What's going on? Or was she not? I have no idea what was going on. I thought the Ed dude was in on it, or whoever it was. It didn't turn out that way, and you see her walking the field, walking around. I don't know what she was trying to achieve by doing that. I have no clue what the hell was going on. I didn't even think she gonna come into contact with this woman. Never did. Never did. And you see in the tree there, and she has a flashback. Even the flashbacks could have been a bit stronger. Flashbacks of her, how Sam died. I think it's her friend Sam that died. Anyway, it has to be. How did she get flashbacks of that if if she wasn't even there? I don't think she was. And then you see her walking, in the distance in that field, and it cuts to the credits. Why do I pick these movies out? I feel like when I think one movie is going to be good, it's not. And I get 1 hour and 15. You think it's like a crappy duration for a movie. Yeah, a movie should be an hour and 30 minimum. But at least you should have it packed full of action or packed for whatever genre it has, just to make the most of it, just to put all that in. I get you need an introduction. Everything in that movie was all kinds of boring and dull. I nearly fell asleep. At least when I've watched terrible movies before, at least they made me laugh here and there and go, what the hell? I did a little bit on these type of movies, and this movie especially, because it was what the hell was this boring? What's going on? I needed action. One piece of action throughout the whole movie. The rest of it was just cliche. Just one. And only lasted, what, 30, 40 seconds. Excuse me again, sorry. I have to say excuse me just in case. I mean, the microphone could pick up my burps, so I don't want to sound rude. But look, I have no idea what the hell is going on. Um, I don't know if this site is messing around with me. I did see one or two movies with good titles, but again, I don't know. I'm gonna avoid them, but I bet if the movies I avoid are the movies that are probably good. I have no idea. Knowing me, it probably is. There's nothing good in this movie. That fight scene was so dead. I mean, there was no point having a fight scene. It was that dead. It was that dead that they shouldn't have had a fight scene at all. What do you call this type of movie? I shouldn't have made this video this long for a movie like this. Seriously. Please watch it. You know, I'm sorry if I'm wasting your time, but it's your choice if you want to watch it. But don't say I didn't warn you. The movie is just awful. Is this going to be another movie I rate at the same number? I think it is. The rating for this is fairly simple, 1 out of 10. Nothing about this movie was good. The storyline was just complete whack. I guess she has to avenge her friend and she was taking revenge. There wasn't much happening. Not much action. One piece, that's it. That's just poor. You know, the dialogue atrocious. There wasn't much good choice of music either. Especially with the news, like especially when it cuts out the news people. That was even a bit poor. Nothing about it was just incredible. And I don't know what you're thinking, James Smith and Caroline Spencer, or Caroline Spencer. I've forgotten the surname. I don't know what you two are thinking making this sort of movie. And again, you made a movie and it's out there. That I respect you for. It's on the site. But maybe the site just accepts any old movie like this. But what were you thinking? If this is like a project, I understand. There's probably some potential and hope for you there. But if you just did it and thought it was a good movie and you put it up there, then I don't know. I don't know if I should be calling producers, directors, and writers out like this, but I might as well. I get recognized. I would want to know the opinions of it on why they made a movie like this. You know, it's a good thing. I mean, I should have been doing that with good movies as well. I should have been shouting out the producers, directors, and writers, and whoever else. Oh man, I don't know what I was thinking trying to put this movie on. But yeah, you know what? Everything is an improvement. So yeah, the rating still stays the same. And it's 1 out of 10 it is. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like, comment, share with everybody, subscribe and hit the notification below as I see you in my next video.